Hello, boss babes.
Okay.
Are you in, hun?
There I go. We did it.
Yes, we did. See, great minds.
Yes.
All
Glad
right.
this is the first time I successfully have done it too. So,
Okay, well, let's
happy
see.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy self love, self care.
Yeah.
Try to get everything on here so we can get started. I'm very interested on what you go through on a daily basis. Excuse me. I see that when you post, you post great things and keep us informed on your issues alone. So that's why I thought this will be a
Yeah.
great way to bring you in and we can have a discussion and go from there.
Awesome.
All
Yes,
right.
I watched your live last week, so I'm definitely interested. I like
Yay.
to spread information because I didn't know a lot of stuff when I
Yes.
first got diagnosed.
Yes. And I agree. That's why I thought this would be a great way. Boss Babes bringing awareness, and it's coming from our point of view. And
Yep.
that way people can see, because not one of us are the same. Not one of us have the same exact symptoms. We might have similar symptoms, but we can see from our point of view what we go through and what other people go through.
Right. I try to explain that to people too because not everybody has the same exact just because we have the same condition or disease, illness, it doesn't mean that we share the exact same experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So today, on our little discussion for our weekly discussion, I would like to bring awareness to sunlight and photosensitivity with UV rays. With that being said, there is always talk about damaging effects of the sun's UV rays, and we know to protect ourselves outside with wide brim hats and garments made from sun protective fabric and sunscreen and so forth. But some
Right.
of us Lupies, whether we're walking through a supermarket or sitting in an office, the UV exposure from artificial light can be, excuse me, just as damaging. Oh my God, the fly is here from the political party.
Oh no. Right.
I'm sorry, it's all in my face.
The infiltrator.
Okay. Oh my God, and I had the screen door locked. I don't know how he got in. Okay. But like I was saying, artificial light can be just as damaging and painful as to much time out in the sun can really cause a lot of pain to joints and so forth, and also bring in rashes that are very painful.
The
But
rashes, girl. The butterfly rash is
yes,
not. It's unforgiving. It's unrelenting. If I sit in the sun longer than 10 minutes, I can feel it. And people will tell me, like my friends and family, they will tell me before I even because a lot of times I keep my mouth shut about
mm-hmm.
how things feel because I'm used to it.
Right,
But they'll be like, "Oh my God, your face! Like move out of the sun already. It's bright red." And I'm like, "Oh, you can see that? I didn't know you could see that. I could feel it, but I
right.
didn't know you could see it yet."
And it's funny that you say that because I've noticed lately, because I've been working from home and I haven't been outside as much as I usually am. So I notice when I do go outside, if I don't put on my sunscreen, it feels like my skin starts irritating. I can feel my skin irritating.
It's
It's
like I think it feels like I got slapped
right. That
hard, like
right. And
burnt.
it's like a burning sensation.
Yes.
And I find it funny that only when I don't put on my sunscreen is when I notice something immediately. Otherwise, when I do put on sunscreen, it's more like a hidden thing. It comes on unexpectedly,
Right.
if that
Right.
makes sense.
Sneaks up on you. That's how I know. I definitely know because I use Neutrogena spray on my face and my body that's exposed,
Mm-hmm.
and even with that, I still get the sunburn
Mm-hmm.
feeling and the butterfly. It even hits my chin. It's crazy. It's like my whole
Yes.
chin, my face. It'll go all the way up here by my
to your ears. Mm-hmm.
It hurts. It hurts.
Yes, ma'am. And with me, it affects not only that area, but also my chest. I noticed my chest will start puckering up. And a lot of people don't understand that even if you don't have lupus symptoms, even though you have that melatonin and you think you don't need sunscreen, you do need sunscreen because that UV affects us whether or not we have lupus or not. But with lupus, it double affects us. And I noticed that I get rashes right here on my chest when I do get affected.
Do yours hurt? Does it hurt on your chest?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. It's like a burning sensation.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And I noticed you say you use Neutrogena. This is my favorite. I use 100 plus. And
yes, that's what I have, but it's in a spray. It's in the spray can.
Yeah.
And Fenty Beauty, it's 35 SPF as well, and I use this on top of it.
Right, and it's great to use makeup that has extra SPF coverage as well. And I noticed that my doctors say 100 plus is doing too much, but I notice a difference when I use 75 or 30 or 100. It's a difference.
There's a great difference.
So I'm not the only one.
Right.
Okay.
It's a great difference. I think so. I'm uber sensitive. I'm telling you, even my feet, the tops of my feet and my legs are sensitive.
Yes.
I never realized how much I had to pay attention to my exposure. So I do cover up. I wear gloves. I wear masks. I wore masks before the pandemic because of my face burning in the car. Because I live in Kyle, which is like a little small town south of Austin, Texas.
Okay.
But I travel to San Antonio often, and we travel to Austin, so we always went back and forth. But the sun hitting me directly through the car, it's awful. It burns and it hurts.
Oh,
and
yes.
My whole arm would just be all bright red. It's awful. So I cover up, and I have a lot of people that tell me I'm doing too much. That's too much. That's extra. Okay. You're not the one that has to feel the pain.
Right. And you know your body better than anybody else. So, right. And it's kind of hard because I'm a beach girl. I love the beach. I love the sun. But when it comes to going on vacations and being out on the beach, of course, I have to cover up. My swimsuits are usually have sleeves in them.
Kimonos. I have hella kimonos. Because I wear them.
Yes, I love kimonos.
Yeah, I love them. I wear them on the beach. I wear lace hand gloves that go all the way up to here.
I've seen those, and those are too adorable.
They're cute, and they
work.
I spray, and then I cover myself up with that, and it really protects me. So I honestly just sit there now. There's no more of a back and forth anymore with others because I know what I need. You know, right? And I know you can understand it. So I don't really need anybody else's approval. And I mean, it's great to know that I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. And that's why I thought this would be a great idea for us to discuss this, because we can hear from different points of view, because not one of us are the same. So just like it affects you in a certain way, it might affect me in a certain way. But with that being said, what do you notice on your flare-ups when you are in the sun? What flare-ups do you have?
Of what happened the last time I went to the beach. I went to the beach with my husband, and besides the butterfly rash, I thought, you know what, I've been doing really well. I'm on a new medication. Everything's great. I'm going to lay in the sun just for a little bit. Well, I fell asleep in the sun, and he wakes me up, and he's like, you have been out here for hours. Like, get up. My joints were gone, okay? Like, my legs, girl, I can't even tell you how swollen they were. And you never think that a leg can be so swollen that you can tell by looking from the back of a person, like from the butt cheek down to the leg, how swollen it is. I was so swollen. I had to go to the ER. I was in the hospital for 3 days.
That inflammation hit you hard.
Like my liver, like everything just was like, my whole body attacked me. and my legs were awful. My knees were purple and swollen, and it was terrible, terrible. But that's what happens to me. But since then, I'm very like, oh my God, I'm in the sun. Move.
Very precautious.
An umbrella, a scarf.
Yes.
A mask.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
Yeah, and that's funny that you say that, because I went to a friend of mine's son's football game last weekend, and I was only in the sun for a few hours, and I put on my sunscreen, but I wore jeans, so I didn't think about wearing sunscreen on my legs. Now, with that being said, the jeans I had holes in them, and I'm gonna show you if you guys can see this, but can you see that?
Ooh, I see that. That's happened to me before.
But
yes. Oh,
it's ridiculous,
and
I was. It was just a few hours.
Right. I sat in the shade one time with my friend on a creek, and while the kids played in the water, and through the leaves, I didn't realize there was a little bit of sun hitting my knees until we looked down, and it looked like the shade of the tree leaves.
Yes.
And it was on my leg, and it was burned into me.
Right.
Just like your leg.
Right. Like you have a permanent sun tattoo. I mean, goodness.
Burned.
Yes.
It hurts.
Oh, honey, the struggle is real.
That's why I'm like, am I tripping? A lot of times when things happen to me, I'm like, am I tripping and making this up in my head?
No.
Because it hurts so much? Or, holy moly, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I that's something also I want to talk about eventually on another Sunday, is the mental that you go through with this disease. So we're going to probably have a discussion together on that. But
that's very important.
Yes, it sends you through.
I always advocate for that.
Girl, it sends you through a whirlwind, and people don't realize how this disease is like a ghost.
Not only that, it would be a great topic of discussion, because it's good to tell people that there are resources in their area. Like, there are resources, and I take advantage of the resources too. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to be rich or poor, anything like that, to be able to take advantage of it. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just to talk to somebody about your illness, it's worth it. I see a psychologist because I have so much going on more than my illness. Mm-hmm. But I see him once a week, and it helps tremendously.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the best thing. So if you have any references that you can shoot out there, it'll be much obliged, because you never know who it might help. Right.
No, I always try to advocate for that, because you know what? 80% of all suicides in America are people who have suffered from a chronic condition, a disease, or pain.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's very sad, but I understand it.
Excuse me. Yes, ma'am, that is true.
I understand it very much.
Yes. I'm glad that you brought that up, but yeah, we're definitely going to have to speak on that real soon. That will be a great discussion.
I wanted to ask about if you've ever had any issues with your eyes with the sun.
Yes. I notice I work on a computer a lot, and I was going to bring that up where with me working on a computer, I noticed that I get a lot of headaches, and with my eyes, they become blurry. Now, when I was working at my job location, for some apparent reason, I will have eye infections all the time. I couldn't figure out why I have eye infections. Doctors say because of your nails and all this other stuff. I know I wash my hands, so you can't tell me it's that.
Especially now, girl. I'm like,
right. And so now I notice, though, since I've been working from home, I don't have as many eye infections. So I don't know if it was the cause of being out in the sun more often or whatever the case might be. And my headaches aren't as severe.
Sorry, my dog. Hold up. He's getting into something. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
But, go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're fine. But yeah, my headaches aren't as severe, but I still do have headaches because I'm on the computer often. And I get dry eyes, which is another problem.
Oh, dry eye. You have dry eye.
Yes.
I was going to see, because I've had this problem for, I'm going to say 2 years already. It's been that long. I keep ignoring it, and now I'm starting to be concerned about it. But my left eye, it will, like, tear up a lot.
That's when I had eye infections. It used to tear up a lot on me before the eye infection started, if that makes sense.
It's constant.
Yes.
Even when I have makeup on, I have to, like, legit put a line with the eyeliner pencil so that it doesn't go up and run into my eyeshadow. I made that up, and it works.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Now, do you go to the eye doctor once a year like we are supposed to?
I need to. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I've always not worn them. So it hasn't bothered me, but what's concerning me is the fact that it just doesn't stop crying.
Right.
Patiently.
And you know that we're supposed to
get right now.
And you know we're supposed to get plaquenil tests, right? The eye doctor is supposed to give a plaquenil test, and we're supposed to get that done. And that, because it affects our eyes, the plaquenil.
The plaquenil?
Yes.
Right. I thought it might be that too. I really considered that. Like, I thought about that, and then I just need to go to the eye doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been pushing it back.
That's very important. Mostly with us taking the medication we definitely need to get our eye exams because it does affect our eyes in ways that we don't understand.
The other medicines do too, because my husband and I were talking about it, and we counted the meds like in a year. I was just like, oh my God, I take thousands and thousands of pills. It's disgusting. But
we're not going to go there. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yes, I know. But yeah, definitely, if I had any advice to give on the UV protection, I would just say cover up and do it fashionably. And do not care what anybody says.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then the Neutrogena, I know that it's expensive. What incarnation is that? My son must have put something in the washing machine.
You sound like some shoes.
What's going on in my house? My dog is tripping.
That's all right. That's the bomb.
But anyways, the Neutrogena SPF has been the best thing for me. And I use it under my makeup.
Yes.
I put it on under my makeup.
Yes, that's what I put on with my setting lotion, and then I go ahead and use my foundation that has the extra SPF, and from there. Mm-hmm. That's a perfectly good idea. Now with that, we do also suffer from fluorescent lighting in the home. Fluorescent lights they aggravate our condition. You may question your ability to continue working sometimes, or even just being in the house. But there are actually options out there for fluorescent lighting to have in your home. Now, I noticed that I looked up on the website and I pulled up this company called Make Great Light Fluorescent Lights. They make fluorescent light filters that are affordable indoor light sensitive solutions. And okay, they're not paying me for this, but the reviews that I read about this company, Make Great Light Fluorescents, they actually have great reviews on lupus patients that use their fluorescent lighting, and it's affordable. So that's another option for people that are in the house more often, that are affected by just regular lighting in the home. And I thought that'd be a good idea.
I gotta look into that. That's interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that's a good option. Now, do you notice any types of flare from being just in the house?
I mean, I'm I never thought that it would be fluorescent lighting, but I'm often having flares. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it never goes away. It's like little fires that just get bigger and then they go down and they get bigger and they go down.
Hmm.
I never know what to expect with lupus. I have yet to wake up and not have anything happen.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, every day is always something. I was telling a friend because one of her friends just found out that she has lupus, and she's going through flare ups and she's trying to recognize her body and she's speaking with a doctor currently, but she is experiencing certain flares that she is not aware of, but it's mainly with her being in the house. And she's trying to figure out what's causing it and all this other stuff. But I had mentioned that's what made me look up the fluorescent lighting. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I only have one. I only have my kitchen that has fluorescent lighting. But I gotta think about that. That's interesting.
Yes, ma'am. And they also have little cover ups because not all fluorescent lighting actually provide UV protection. So that's why I had looked up this company, because their lights are particularly for lupus patients and it focuses around UV rays. So that's a good option to look into if it affects you indoors.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm gonna keep an eye on. I might just leave the lights off.
I usually do. It's best, and you save on electricity.
Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, and I also noticed that medication, I don't know if it happens to you, perfumes like vanilla, strong vanilla scent makes me flare up. And sometimes even sunscreen, like I said, if it's not enough SPF, I flare up. So how does that affect you with medication? Do you notice when it comes to the sun and the medication and sun and perfume?
I noticed that I can't walk long in the sun, or it has to be like if it's like the hottest part of the day, I can't do it. Don't even ask. But I don't like to go in the sun, not only because of the UV, but because of the medication, and it's like it makes me not feel good. I don't know how to describe it. It's not a good feeling.
It's like a weakening.
Yeah, it's like very much so. Yes, very weakening. I can't even say it. Weakening. Yeah,
It's close enough.
Describe it. It's a gross feeling, and I think that it has to do with not having enough water and the sun.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I try to drink as much water as possible. I usually try to keep pH water to keep my balance up, because I notice how pH affects me on my nutrition as well. So
I'm trying to be like very observant of what I eat and stuff like that, but I can't do that yet. I just have too many kids. Do you know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Like they come in and out. They eat everything. I do what I can, you know.
Right.
And then I eat what I can.
And that's all you can do.
I have to remember to eat.
And that's hard too. I noticed that for myself.
Yeah. It's very hard to even remember to eat.
And mostly when you get busy. Oh my gosh.
It's the name of the game. But I try not to the sunlight and medication. Just no. If you're thinking about activities, I really can't do outdoor activities. However, I would love to. I miss that.
Yeah.
I missed it a lot. I used to do it with my kids. I used to hike and stuff like that. But the sun, it's crazy. If it will do something like your leg.
Yeah.
One moment it'll do something like that to me. The next moment it won't.
Yes. It has its days. It has its picks and chooses on when it want to attack you.
Right. My hand joints will get so big, and not only that, I know I posted a few weeks ago, but the rashes, the subcutaneous rashes and stuff like that, they get on your fingers.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, and so they're exposed to the sun all the time, and I really don't think about that. that's why I try to wear gloves. But when I cover them, it's so much better. When they're exposed, it's really bad. It's really bad. And that's from driving. You know, you sit there with
right, and it's constantly blaring
your hands
on
on the steering wheel, so they just get so bad. Does aloe vera work for you? Just the I put it in the fridge. I keep one in the fridge.
I keep a little container of aloe vera around. Yes, ma'am, I do. And it helps me when I get my rashes on my face and on my chest. I put that on to soothe it.
I do that too. And then, like, I have one in the fridge, and it feels really, really good. I can't tell you how, like, when I need it the most, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I put it in the fridge.
I'm going to try that. That sounds lovely. That really do.
It definitely feels really nice on the face.
Okay, I will try that. Okay, these are some awesome insights. Did anybody have any questions or concerns yet? Thank you for joining in. We appreciate it. I hope this helps. Now, of course, make sure, you contact your doctor. We are not doctors. This is just from our point of view on what we deal with on a daily basis. So if you do have any concerns, please see your physician. That's very important. Now, did you have anything that you wanted to close out on or say?
We should ask about blood thinners here. Blood thinners, taking them and then being in the sun does not sound like a good idea.
True. So true. Now we have a lace cow? I don't want to mispronounce it. How do you feel about blood thinners? What's your thoughts on blood thinners?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, maybe you should take them and then be in the sun. That doesn't sound like a good mix. If you know you're gonna be outside doing outdoor activities, I would wait on taking that medication. But like I said, my doctor, like she said, we're not doctors, just advice.
Exactly. And me myself, I haven't took blood thinners, but I do know ibuprofen and aspirin are blood thinners as well because it's an aspirin. So I take ibuprofen and it affects me in a certain way. So you have to be careful when you're dealing with blood thinners, and mainly when you're outside, and it already affects us being outside as is. So make sure you just talk to your doctor.
Wow.
You were just prescribed Friday.
Wow.
They found a blood clot Friday.
I hope you're doing okay.
Yes. Prayers are flowing, Lupie sis. We're always here for you. If you have any concerns, always reach out. We'll do our best we can from our experience, but of course, make sure you keep up with your physician.
Right.
And yes.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in with me. I enjoyed you so much. You, in my head, before we even started talking, you were like my best friend. I said, "Oh, we will get along."
I stutter sometimes. I stutter and I talk a lot.
That's all right, honey, because you made this conversation fantastic, and I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. I got diagnosed with lupus in 2016.
I got diagnosed myself back in 2006, 2005, 2006. Wow. Now I have two forms. Honey, it's been a struggle. I have two forms of lupus. I have discoid and systemic. What type of lupus do you have?
I have SLE. I have the systemic, and I have the subcutaneous lupus.
Yeah, cutaneous. I can't ever say it, so I just say discoid. So I don't get tongue tied.
Yeah, it sucks.
So you were just diagnosed. Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. You know, I love you, Boss Babes. We appreciate you for tuning in. But we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close if nobody else has any other questions or concerns. And of course,
have a good Sunday.
Yes, of course, everybody enjoy your Sunday. Self-care, self-love. Make sure you tune in next week. We have weekly discussions every week. And of course, look forward to our Black Friday giveaways. And also, you have a giveaway going on right now, right?
Yeah, I gave it. It already happened.
Okay, so look forward to Black Friday giveaways. But thanks everybody, Boss Babes, for tuning in. We're gonna go out with a song, and I will see y'all next weekend.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Hey Facebook. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. See y'all next week. Much love, Lupie sis, Boss Babes. Enjoy your Sunday. I come every Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m. You can catch me on Instagram or Facebook Live. I try to bring in anybody that has any kind of insight that can help. Boss Babe awareness. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.